and storms.
I'm gonna run and get some. I'm gonna pour water in this cup.
Down by the shore, pirates in the port of paradise.
I'm taking one of my cousin's bottled waters.
Hey, road mariners marinated, swinging on north with their heads and fingers sore. Viscera and gore in paradise. Pirates in the bay, taking what they may. Yarn and gold aboard, what decorates indoors. Taking home decor. Please not a word more. It's the pirates of paradise. Ah! Ah!
Pirates of Paradise, welcome back.
Listeners, it's a pleasure to be here. I was once in my local Italian grocer, purchasing some Italian grosses. And there's an elderly man who I extended to greet him physically in some way. I went to shake his hand or to fist bump him because he extended his hand first a little bit. And then he went like this. Because he said his name was Ray. He said that he used to be a boxer and that he loved to fight dudes like me back in the day because I don't have very protruding obliques or a lot of fat on my stomach currently, and he really could have gotten me with a body blow. What he was saying is that he would have used his left hand to shut down my liver, and that would have been the end of our bout, let's say. And I felt for
Leonard?
I don't think so. I think it was just an old white dude. From what I understand, it was just an older white man.
I think Sugar Ray Leonard may also be black. So,
exactly. That was my hunch. It is the sugar that makes me think that. Maybe that's racism, but
yeah.
That is a good. I don't know if I ever told you about
it was the
that.
Leonard
But I watched...
for me, I think. But
fair.
But, I guess Leonardo da Vinci. This dude's an Italian grocer.
No, this is true. No, but I recently watched a compilation of liver shots, and then watched a video about the anatomy of liver shots, and then I realized it was another moment that made me realize I need to change the way I imagine fighting, just because I really don't want. It's one of those things where, like, I found I can touch, like, I can take my finger right here and I can touch my trigeminal nerve, like my like one of my facial nerves, and I'm like, oh, that's the button you have to hit across my jaw to make my legs go to sleep. It's probably that spot. And so I feel like I should keep my right hand higher or my head much lower. And in the same vein, I think that, well, so left hand, so that would be, my liver would be like right here. I really need to, there's Christ, you know? That being said, it's a pleasure to be here in the Port of Paradise. This is a late one, listeners, because we've seized the day. We've taken.
I think, well, I guess, speaking of the Port of Paradise, Peter Schiff has the funniest Memorial Day podcast episode that I've seen so far, which is America's Lost Every War.
Oh, fuck.
That was the video.
That the take? Is that...
Yeah, I think so. He's like, I mean, America spends all this money on war, but like we don't even do that well. And like, every time we go to war, it's an inflationary. We need to get back on the gold standard. We need to get back on the gold standard, and I shouldn't pay any taxes. That's why I live in Puerto Rico. There's no federal income tax here, no state tax either. But I found out that so there have been 2 boxers now that have gone to Puerto Rico so that they pay no income taxes on their earnings when they win their bout. And I don't know if he's getting into boxing at all, but I do think that I know that the Jake Paul, like the Paul brothers or whatever, have moved to Puerto Rico, and apparently on like their first day, they ran over like a bunch of baby turtles in like a Humvee or some shit, because they were just like in an ATV or some shit driving all over the
fucking
beach.
up. Yeah.
Just
really going like, for it.
And now like Puerto Rican authorities, who are operating under, I guess, just the charity of the billionaires that live in that tax haven.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we're looking into it.
Yeah, we're looking into it. Good for them, I suppose. I mean, I think that I am an aspect of me is anti. I don't know that I'm anti-income tax necessarily. I'm pro me having money, but I'm
I think that if you're
anti-turtle
fighting,
death.
I think that if you're fighting, I don't like. I make a certain allowance in my head for it, which is like, if you're risking, getting
Life win.
schlepped, possibly suffering permanent brain damage,
No,
I'm gonna say like,
yeah.
take $100 million. I don't really care.
No, this is true.
Whatever
Have you seen the video of Michael Bisping popping out his glass eye?
Ugh, I didn't know he had a glass eye.
I did not either. He was like, "Look at this, baby boy." He said, "Baby boy." We should. In fact, wait. Can I pull that up really quickly?
Oh, absolutely. We recently discovered that
Okay,
we have a screen sharing feature.
listeners, we live in the future now. They're just. It's. This is truly sci-fi time. This is truly sci-fi time. We're going to. John, is everything visible?
Everything's visible. Yeah, we are now in little windows at the top.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a second search. Michael Bisping eye. This is the one.
No, and by the way, I wore
and
my
we
glasses,
will
my dark
skip
glasses,
to
as I said.
it. Is everyone ready?
No, and by the way, I wore this, baby boys. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why I used to wear fucking sunglasses, baby boy. Hold on, let's put that back in.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Is he speaking with
There
a
we
legion
go.
of
Like
skanks?
I honestly, I am not
Is he
sure.
on Real Ass Podcast with Louis J. Gomez? That's what it sounds like.
That could definitely be a possibility. We'll have to cut through an instant replay.
I think that Louis J. Gomez says baby boys as well, so that's entirely possible.
Oh, yes, that he is just he's adapted to the vernacular of the environment. That is entirely possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Lewis's father was stabbed after he won a fight against the dude. Like the dude came back later and stabbed him, and then I think his mom OD'd or something.
Damn, that sucks. Good for him for being able to. Good for him. He's the best. Beat the fuck out of her.
Good for him for talking to the guy who did it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
What if this guy just found out that Michael Bisping lost an eye stabbing his father? So your dad took this eye from me, so I took his life. Pop, baby boy.
Speaking of Michael Bisping and his relationship to certain baby boys close to the show, I heard that Michael Bisping, in the middle of the night, he actually visited your local substation and he gave it a good 1-2 across the jaw.
Oh goddamn! I almost was not going to cover this topic because I forgot. I awoke this morning to the second most terrifying thing that's happened when I woke into at about the same time. About a week ago, I woke up, found that my Robinhood account had been hacked, and that all of my funds had been withdrawn. I'm still in the middle of ongoing emails, just emails. No, I've not talked to anyone about it. But I awoke this morning and my alarm clock was off, which is basically the same thing as losing $1,500.
Our time is valuable. Your time is valuable.
My time is valuable. My time is worth $200 an hour, and there are 24 hours in a day. So the fact that I had a zero, I just a black screen on my clock is pretty terrifying. But yeah.
Wait, what's that thing? Is it the cash money dollar bill mentality? What's that stupid thing?
What?
The cash dollar money. It's like the dollar bill money mentality or something like that. Like it's some stupid thing.
It's probably cash money mentality.
Something like that. It's absurd. Like... Anyway, it's just a stupid thing that makes me laugh and you're reminded me of. Continue, please.
So I wake up. There's zero power in the house. I kick around because I assume just the breakers in our house flipped during a storm last night, because it was raining real bad. It was raining so bad that my brown paper bag that I was carrying groceries essentially from up to my home disintegrated in the rain when I was walking like less than a mile. It disintegrated. I was holding just like a pile of things that I
Oh,
like laid on my
surrounded in
doorstep.
pulp.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
realized immediately that I'm like, fuck a turtle. Like, I need a bag that won't dissolve for 100 years.
No, this is true. Fuck a turtle for waterproof bags.
Yeah, indeed.
It's like
And
you picked your groceries up out of a bunch of seaweed. That's what that
it basically was like that. It was like foraging. Basically, I had to like,
is.
yeah, I had to pick through the paper pulp,
Mhm.
add fiber to my diet, and all that. But yeah, I'm just kicking around in my apartment, waiting for the power to kick back on. Um, and I hear footsteps, which is a good sign because I'm waiting for other people to wake up so I can see if like the problem's localized to just my unit, if it's my whole building, or if
Uh,
if
it could
it's
be the
like the
flip.
whole neighborhood. And so I hear footsteps. Some lady I've never seen before, so I assume it's like somebody's one night bae, one of these things. She comes waddling down from upstairs, and I'm like, hey, do you know? I said, hey, I like realized that I don't know who this person is. I'm like,
Yeah.
do you have power upstairs? She's like, I don't know. Then I laugh maniacally as she leaves the building. So I was basically in that moment like Michael Bisping. I like popped out my one glass and I said, do you have power? Do you have power? Is your phone charged? Were you able to call an Uber or did your phone die in the night?
Are you leaving because you don't know if your Uber is here or not because your phone is dead? Oh man.
Um,
Oh
did a tree branch fall on your hopes of a romantic prospect?
man. My mom would she refers to one night stands as they dated but for only 15 minutes.
That's hilarious.
It really it really is.
Uh,
Yeah. But so around what time you said you woke up
about 8 a.m.
around
today.
8.
About 8
Yeah.
a.m. Yeah.
What time did you see the dude who ended up arriving or
Oh
whatever?
yeah. So I had to call the power company. Had to give them the phone number. You can't just give them the address of the place where there's the power is. You have to give them the phone number of the person who the power bill is in the name of.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Bill in
which
the name of
which is weird because like if I didn't know that dude's number and there was like a straight up electrical fire, I don't know like what I would do there.
yeah.
I guess call the fire company because they
Oh,
don't
this is
require that
true.
kind of
So
information.
none.
But I
Yeah,
guess like
yeah.
speaking of like a libertarian paradise, like Puerto Rico type deal, it'd be weird to be in a place where like you had to call a private fire company and they needed like your insurance information that was inside the house that you had just left because it was on fire from electricity.
Yeah, that would be a situation, and that would be a situation.
They'd probably set
I
up like monitors or something if you were paying into like a contract for them. But
No, oh, this is true. That would honestly, I think, because I was just about to say that my goal is I just want to have like really like when I build my ideal home, I just want to have really impressive redundant fire suppression.
yeah.
And like worst case scenario, there's one room foams out that wing of the house or something, like it's just full of expanding foam. Uh, but I imagine that in the future, or if there were like a number of competitive private fire companies, they would like install sensors in your shit and whatnot.
I want the firefighters to start swinging their fire axes at each other so that they get the contract like in the middle of the fire.
Okay, yeah, like hey,
They
fuck you,
they
put
put
it
out the
out,
fire with the other fireman's blood.
dog. Or like their systems are like racing to determine the cause or something like that. It's like nah, fuck you, bro. My carbon monoxide sensor, I can show you where exact. I got the reading. I got the high reading. 20 seconds before you did, bro. 20 seconds. And that's partially because of airflow, but it's mostly because your system isn't shit. And then they would get into a fist fight.
So yeah,
Or something.
would it be like when you're taught when like cops and like the feds are, or I guess when like cops in different states are arguing jurisdiction,
Ooh.
where like they
That
just catch the perp first.
because I suppose do you think there will always be a municipal fire something? Because I guess what's the highest there's like a fire chief, right? And the fire chief is like the sheriff of fires. Am I mistaken in
I
thinking
think that
that?
the fire chief is the dude who probably has some special training in that, or at
I can
least
look
like
that up.
the largest number of years.
Yeah.
And then I think that dude is usually the dude who goes, "This is the cause," and then probably talks to insurance companies or something. Like,
This
"Oh
is
no,
true.
you lit cigarettes indoors. We found the butts," or like, "We found the plug where where this was an electrical fire that was caused, naturally, or like due to bad
So
wiring."
so the
So I
fire
guess they could
chief is
just have
the
like an
former officer of
electrician's
the fire department.
background
Yeah,
or something.
I'm trying to think about like the
But I've
reason
heard
that
they are used in criminal investigations and insurance stuff. Because
no,
I
there's
remember this America's number one jewel thief, Larry Lawton, ex-con.
mhm.
He was talking about how he had this pizzeria and he was like, "We made pretty good pizza," but it was just like a money laundering thing, I think.
Oh,
And
very
he's like, and I wanted to just burn it down and get the insurance money. And so I held up like a lighter to the ceiling and it didn't catch. And then I just ended up, I think, dousing a bunch of pizza boxes in gasoline. And then when the dude came in later, he was like, "This is where somebody you need to look into your operation. This is where somebody tried arson,
yeah.
like just at the one lighter spot on the ceiling."
Yeah.
So
Okay. No, so no, and so there's definitely a for legal forensic or I'm sorry, for legal and insurance reasons, there's well, those are sort of the same thing. There's a an art to the or certainly a trade of the forensic investigation of fires. And I guess the fire chief or commissioner, according to Wikipedia, is just the chief executive of any given fire response, whatever. Um,
it's like a
the thing
Ponzi
I'm trying to
scheme where like it's a volunteer firefighter organization, and
oh yeah, eventually you
he's the
start your
guy
own.
who has the highest number of connections. So like the
Yes.
fire chief of the future is like an IG model who like has like 500 fire women working underneath her.
Something like that. Or well, hear me out. Hear me out. If you were like, yo, bro, I'm this badass private firefighter. I've got an exoskeleton, so I won't die of smoke inhalation. Right? It's like, do you want to be this cool? And then you teach people how to use your exoskeleton.
The
It's sort of a
firefighter
Ponzi
is the
scheme.
dude with the
It's like,
highest ratio again, like win-lose ratio against
oh,
fires.
well,
He goes in there and he's
yeah.
like, "Pa pa pa
No,
pa
it's
pa."
win lose ratios against fires in suit hours, bro. I developed the suit. I got the highest number of suit hours, and I started fighting fires beforehand,
A
so you can't
tattoo
catch
I
them.
do want is like a firefighter, like boxing, like a Johnny Flame type figure.
Oh yes. That would be a good one.
That'd
That
be a
would
good
be a
one.
good. Yes. But all that being said, my particular and we should get back to your the power story, but I wonder if there will always be because fires are a threat to communal infrastructure. I wonder if there will always be a municipal fire department to that, like from a state level at least, or something that has to that private bodies or entities have to work with or coordinate with. And I think that could create the Fed local cop sort of conflict that you see. In,
Well, so
maybe.
I guess in some sense you have that with like insurance agencies. If the insurance agencies are like the fire, everything post the initial incident, where they're like, we do the fire restoration, we do the fire financing. So in some sense that's the case, and they do compete in like a financial sense. Like we have lower rates, we have better coverage, we have better response times, we have better technology. But I don't know how competitive. I don't imagine most insurance like in the U.S. is that competitive because
Mhm.
it does. We have a tendency towards like hegemonic business entities. Um,
Unfortunately, I suppose. Or well,
or
I
fortunately, in
mean,
some sense, I guess,
no,
because
this is true. I was going to say, I
yeah,
mean, to a certain extent, not to be, we are sounding very libertarian this episode,
hmm
but to a certain extent, the emergent, the economy is like an emergent system to which Darwinian rules apply partially, and you might say that it is some organisms dominate the ecosystem, and that is what happens within ecosystems.
I'm going to attempt to use an analogy that I don't know that I fully understand, but
Okay,
I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson on Joe Rogan's on Joe
Joe
Rogan's
Rogan.
talking about
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, say
Hey, can we
Rogies,
watch Joe Rogies? Come
Joe
on. If I
Rogan.
were your if I were your adopted son that called you John for some reason,
Yeah,
come on, can we watch Joe Rogan?
he was on Blow Rogaine. Uh,
No
yeah, he was on No Rogaine. He was on No
Rogaine.
Rogaine. Yeah.
fuck? But what did you say? What did you say? What did you say?
He was like, he said he was talking about some show. I forget what it was. I think it might have been like some zombie show or something.
It's such a strange coincidence that your name is No Rogaine, and yet you don't have. I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I can make this joke afterwards. But he said that like the something he was noticing in this zombie show is that the piles of leaves on the street were evenly dispersed, and he's like, well, this simply does not occur in nature, because while some people might believe that randomness means that things will become equitable or something to that effect, he's like, what you'll actually find in nature is that this is turning into an Obama impression very quickly.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Minute Mark juice, I believe. Yeah. But he's like, yeah. He was saying that basically you'll find all the piles of leaves in a couple places because some places are better suited for collection than others.
No, this is true, and like two,
and also I guess wind, like torrents of wind, are not like. They're not making even paths all over the streets, I suppose.
Yes. There. Certainly. I didn't even think about that. There's like a given flow. That that is really interesting to think about. What a point here I made a bald joke about Joe Rogan via his voice.
And even then, you would expect that he would be bald everywhere, but his ass hair is patchy. Because
that's really funny. He rips it out to conquer his inner bitch.
Because his arms, I believe there's like an Ari Schiff, when they were doing the hot yoga challenge. Joe was like, "This is really hard," and Ari was like, "Yeah, it's because your legs are fat, and so you can't twist them around each other. Mine have no meat on them, so I can do yoga easy." But his arms are so short because he fills out a t-shirt so well that he can't rip it out all evenly.
No,
not even with the Manscaped 3.0.
Not even with the Manscaped 3.0 was advertised.
I forget what the initial point of this was.
The initial point was in relation
something
to
with a fire.
If you had to have your roommate's number for an electrical fire, you would have been fucked.
Yes. Okay. But yeah. So I guess this is how I don't know if these they're not 1-to-1 these comparisons, but you would expect that I guess I'm making a case for monopolies that that you can expect monopolies because torrents of air don't blow leaves in the same place.
Listeners in the comments, let us know if we're libertarians.
Let us know if you would have more money if you didn't pay taxes.
Let's discuss those things down below, please. Oh man. But so what time did that cat show up in the day? I'm sorry. I think I asked that question.
So I called it 9:30 a.m. and he showed up by 9 and he showed up maybe by 9:30, 9:45. So it wasn't too bad of a wait time. It's because I saw a wire was downed, which it was. Yeah. I'm 0 for 2. I'm 0 for 2 on my calls about wires, and I knew it was a telephone wire because it wasn't sparking and I was alive.
Yes, this is true.
Because I walked over there and I was like, "This is a downed wire, isn't it?" And then I immediately remembered.
Gave the whole lick.
Yeah, I remembered this video of a what do you call it? It's like a 3D animation of like a construction worker standing in a field when the whole pylon when the whole pole falls, and it like electrifies a radius around him.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, these are your survival tips for if you're ever in this situation working on a site.
Yes.
And I forget what you have to do. It's like stand on one leg and slowly like shift back and forth, like kind of just like not lift your foot off the ground, but like kind of get away or something.
Yeah.
But really, I think you're fucked. Probably
you're fucked, and it's good that they give you something to think about while you're about to die, and then they're like, oh, I have to shift back and forth, and before you're trying to shift back and forth, and you're dead.
Indeed.
Before you even know.
You should really just try and moonwalk backwards as hard as you possibly can, because it'll look really cool when you die and go flying backwards.
No,
from the muscular convulsion.
You need to get to, if you're in the state of no mind, if you've read the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, if you're in the state of no
Live Leak is
mind.
no longer with us. There's a Live Leak video of Live Leak being killed, but
Okay. Okay. Hey, but I'm saying that you could use the electricity to make your muscles contract and just jump. You get on one foot, but I'm saying you should just jump outside of the radius of electricity.
hey, and if
No
you're
shock, no
if you're
shock,
part
no
of our
shock.
if you're part of Pirates of Paradise Insurance networking, and you let us put a chip in you, we could probably use that electrification data for a version of the exoskeleton.
I mean, probably. I'm thinking that we could. At least
If we can find just
your death
through,
would be valuable. At least your
yeah.
death would be, if you were to be electrocuted right now, listener, your death would mean nothing. But if the Pirates of Paradise Insurance Company were able to take some of your biometric data from when you were killed horribly and vaporized into a puddle, and then collect. You'd probably be vaporized into a puddle, and then we collect the little chip when we pick it back up.
If this data is subject to an economy of scale, and we can collect data on just mostly electrical workers are who we are covering due to their propensity to be electrocuted. But if we're following this up, like maybe plumbers too, who work on flooded basements. So like we want
exactly.
low. We want to work in like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all the low-lying swampy areas of the South.
Yeah, where you might be killed by a toilet gator.
Toilet gator, boiler
because
room.
Toilet gator. If you look in I'm not, we all know I'm not academic, but I've looked through the literature, and there is a surprising dearth of information about the anatomical after effects of toilet gator murder on the body.
Yeah, toilet gators will eat your ass. They will.
Yeah.
You ever blow up a bowl so bad that you have to stick paper clips in your cheeks and be like, a gator bit me, a gator bit me, a gator bit me. So a gator bit me. I shat. It was a fight or flight response.
No. I was not incontinent, and then in a fit of rage punched the toilet, and I punched the hole to a wider diameter. That's not what happened with my shit fist. I didn't do that. It was a toilet gator. It bit my ass. That's so stupid. That's hard. Oh fuck. Oh Christ in heaven. Oh God help us. Oh man. Dude.
you know the like Instagram / Facebook text meme, God is a woman. God is a gator, and he ate my ass on the toilet.
You know what? I think a lot of people would relate to that too.
You ever piss to try and get the shit off the side of a toilet, and you have to say,
you use the fear of toilet gator God biting your ass to squeeze your pelvic floor tighter, to piss harder.
You have to put Drano in your foreskin and say, a croc ate my cock.
That is, I'm so glad that I never interact with any of the animals that give you fucking chemical burns, because there are like a couple of those motherfuckers, like the bombardier beetle. Fuck that. Well, the bombardier beetle is pretty cool because it's essentially like it's an aerosol weapon, which is tight. I mean, not all that many animals use projectiles.
I was looking through a cool Instagram page for beetles, where a dude just grows beetles in his home, and then I think he's a jeweler or something, and he like uses them as a reference for his jewelry. Might just be a collector though, like that one dude from Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, this is true.
Like,
the collector.
The collector. Yeah, he might be a collector like the collector.
Yeah.
But people in the comments were like, how dare you keep these insects in captivity? And I'm like, yo, even the vegans are like, kill a bug. I don't give a fuck about a bug. Grind them into powder, make them into flour, like fee fi fo fum.
There are so many insects. They can spare the flower. Especially if we start farming. Oh man, especially if we start farming. But in relation to taxidermy, entomology, animal collecting, and whatnot, I spent a fair amount of time reading the Wikipedia article of Charles Darwin earlier today, just to learn about his life, because I figure how much of
The
evolution.
fantastic Mr. Gumball fans will love this one.
Wait, say that again.
The amazing balls of Gumball fans will love this one.
But the I figure that the life of that dude is definitely, it's of note to the extent that, like, how much of biology is evolution, right? Like what percentage of modern biological science rests on, like, dude, the way NASA defines life now is in relation to the theory of Darwinian evolution, which is like a motherfucker, you know? Like, that's anyway. I found out that he was it seems like he would have been pretty chill. I think that I would have truly liked to have hung out with that dude.
I mean, he was like the old version of a single guy because all of his kids died real young.
No, well, yeah, fair. I didn't get that far. I was just reading about when he preferred, like, shooting and riding horses to attending his classes, and I was like, yes. And then when he apparently he, like, left one place because he was like, fuck this slavery thing that's going on right here, and I was like, yes. And then he said when he was in Australia, he was like, the Aborigines were humorous and good natured, and I was like, fuck yeah, I would have really gotten along with this man because he was a huge nerd too, you know. And so I really probably would have gotten along.
I mean, I'm sure that there's a writing or two on the topic, but like the social Darwinism that's defined by like phrenology and like the reading the bumps on the scalp thing. Yeah. I don't know what his take would have been on that in that case. Like, it might have been because I could really see him being like still kind of fucked up about it, where he's like, these people have different biology and it makes them not that bright, but damn, hey, brightness isn't everything.
No, I actually don't think that he would have. I think that
it's hard to say.
I think that his take would have been something along the lines of, because my understanding is that he omitted them from On the Origins of Species, but he wrote a fair amount about sexual selection in relation to human evolution. And if it is, like, it's really interesting to think about. If and I'm talking to people listening to this right now, if you are ever looking to have a really interesting thought, think about how many generations of creatures there have been since the inception of life, right? Think about that, right? The number of in our branch, let's say, of the evolutionary tree, the number of generations that have occurred is like absurdly short. Like, there are so few human generations to go from like our common ancestor with chimpanzees to like right now occurred over like 7 million years or so, and that over, like, from an evolutionary perspective, that's an absurdly short time scale. And I think that his take would be that people haven't existed long enough for them to speciate. They're like,
which is
like
correct.
people look different, I suppose. But yeah. I think that probably
all people except for the infertile can have kids with one another.
No, this is true.
And I guess.
He was also devoutly religious, and I feel like he would have been pretty chill, probably, for that reason.
Yeah, because he's definitely part of like the naturalist school of religious, which is like, because I don't remember. There's definitely like a term for like.
Yes.
Paradigm, but like
natural theology or whatever. Or like,
natural theology, where
God.
you look for like the signs of God in nature, and like it's more about like you could almost see like a. I don't even know. Like, I was gonna say, like, you could almost see like somebody who is like, I don't really know about this God thing, but I'm not trying to rub people the wrong way because people can get riled up about nothing.
No, this is true.
I'm just gonna go look at plants. I'm just gonna go look at plants and be happy about it.
And I think that's fair. It's honestly, dude, it's because as modern people, I suppose, well, as modern scientifically minded people, whether we like it or not, let's say, like, influenced by our culture, it probably wouldn't. Oh, because I guess, the culture we inhabit was developed post-scientific revolution, let's say. So let's say that we are roughly scientifically minded people, or at least Enlightenment sort of thinkers. The idea of like classifying patterns in nature as like the work of God doesn't necessarily make the least sense if you are still like nested in that religious framework. And also, I suppose before like Darwinian evolution and what like microscopes, well, I guess microscopes and then Darwinian evolution, because I believe that was I think that would be the pattern. I'm not sure. I feel like biology was just classification. Like they were just like, "Hey, look, is this a bird? Is this a new bird? Do you think?"
Call a telescope a macroscope by any chance?
I think that you could. I would not judge you for doing so.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Pirates of Paradise macroscope. Check it out in the merch store.
Macroscope. Listen, and dude, we actually probably, dude, if we wanted to, there is like an open telescope design that we could probably.
I was just gonna say like a T-shirt with Charles Darwin and the word macroscope, but like the telescope is just his donger. I don't know.
No, it's like the spyglass or something when he's on the
when he's in the crow's nest. On the SS Beagle.
Shall I spin the wheel?
Indeed.
Okay. This wheel transition has to be smoother. I think if I were like a real professional, I would do something like land. There it is. I would do something like just have like another camera that always points at the wheel, and then switch route. Crow's nest.
It's in Destiny. It's in Drake, God's plan. And yeah.
So, crow's nest, things that are on the horizon. Oh, so I guess I could fit in the unboxing of this thing, because I do think that it's hilarious to receive this hardware wallet that I was so excited for before all the cryptos bottomed out. And so I guess this is sort of my owning this object is implies that I believe there will be, I'll at least accrue like 100 additional, like maybe like 120 additional dollars because of cryptocurrency, let's say. But I assume that there's some value to that idea. Yes, that's what this is. So crypto is probably on the horizon, let's say. Ledger Nano X, keep your crypto secure everywhere.
Are there any places that incentivize you for owning a hardware wallet? Like any places that'll be like, if you plug in a hardware wallet, we'll give you X.
No, I don't think that's the case. Okay.
No.
Well, that's I honestly
just anticipating the appreciation of that then.
I think that I'm anticipating the like a cryptocurrency becoming slightly more commonplace, like maybe over the 5-year or something like that. And that if that is the case, this will probably be the cheapest time to invest. Like, though this, I don't know how many competitors Ledger has. I honestly, for having spent like $120, I didn't do all that much research. I just happened to have the money at the time, and I figured that it'd be worth it at some point.
That's right.
But I imagine this would probably be the cheapest point for me to invest in the minimum viable technology for me to, like, that's why they have two available. I think there's like, the other one is the Ledger Nano S or something like that. It costs something like 59 something, I believe. This one costs maybe like I paid like $119 for it or so. But
are you paying for like the durability difference, or are you paying for like
better features?
Oh yeah, I guess features. I was gonna say like, because I can't imagine that like size of like.
No.
Yeah,
like
you're like, I guess we can't store any more Bitcoin on here.
You can't have any more money. You could only fit $500 into this wallet.
Yeah.
You can only. Yeah. No. So apparently, this one is Bluetooth enabled. There's like an app where you can like do like live trading, I suppose, where I imagine I believe what occurs with the other one is you'd have to like connect it via like to like a PC essentially, or a laptop or whatever, and then use like a desktop app. This, I believe, you can also, there are more coins that you can access on device, let's say, like with this thing. Like so I guess it's not that you can only have so much money, but you can only use there are like restrictions to which cryptos you can store actively and like access mobily, let's say. I think that is a difference. Oh, also the more expensive one came with free shipping, and fuck paying for shipping. Especially this shipping was like international. I was like, this shit came from France. I didn't realize that.
Oh, the French don't pay taxes for sure.
But so yeah, I guess.
You can buy wine and cheese with just Winero.
Welcome to the Ledger. Fucking press the right button to continue. Oh shit. Download Ledger Live. Oh shit. Oh fuck. I need to get more devices with little screens on. I feel like I live in the fucking future. Holy Christ. Look at this. Listeners. Watchers. Listeners, you can't look at listeners, look at the black screen. Look at like if you have something in your teeth, now is the time to figure out if you do. This is so much fun.
You feel like you live in the future. This is basically just a pager. This is 1990, but it's like,
okay. Well, I do think that pagers and shit are going to come back. I wouldn't
be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. I would ditch a smartphone if it meant that I could have if I could just ditch if I could have just Telegram. So I can subscribe
Spotify,
to
Spotify, Telegram, Instagram.
Yep. I don't even need IG, to be fair.
Honestly, because I could have IG on like this device, I'm referring to my iPad, but so like a tablet or something.
Yeah, like a big screen, a big screen.
No, but because really, what I want is like if I can call you, if I could, and this is the Jimmy Neutron in me. I want to have like if I were making my own DIY mobile communicator, if I can call you, like audio call, video call, text. If I can send you a file. If I can listen to music, I do not need any other functions. Everything else is superfluous.
Honestly, it would be super cool, in terms of sending a file, if you could seed a torrent or something from a small device.
Yeah.
Just be like, no, this is decentralized.
Well, and there's like a huge what are they called? What are they called? I think they're called cyber. They're called cyber somethings.
There are torrents that I believe you have to have a key to download.
Oh, heard.
And or just a key to unlock a zip file or something.
Mm-hmm.
But there are brute force tools for those too, so who knows?
No, this is true. But hold on. I'm trying to say that one, I guess people never want to talk about. This is something I just thought of. People never want to talk about how much electricity is used by hackers to hack people, and is it more or less the Bitcoin? Like if you're out there brute forcing people's passwords, you're spending a lot of electricity. Anyway, the other
I was also thinking about what is the point at which the demand for hardware wallets meets
Well, I remember what the fuck I was gonna say. Sorry.
Yeah. So where does the demand for hardware wallets begin to make them a better investment than the cryptocurrency that you put on them?
Oh, probably when you can get there's an FDIC affiliated or approved whatever company that allows you to attach your identity to a portable hash, something like that. That's so you can have a tag in your skin. Right, you can go to First. If I could go to First National Bank, you go to BB&T. Not to put the banks that we use out on the podcast. Yeah. Not to verify, but
somebody already knows, I guess.
Yeah, right?
For me,
exactly.
Somebody in Austria knows my bank.
No, this is true, and also I have I already done the thing where I've said that I thought I had pretty good digital personal hygiene, and then I said, please don't attack me. Did I already say that on the podcast? Is that happening?
That sounds
I think I have. Oh, but the thing, yeah. So,
I think also that
please don't.
I do like the idea of having hardware wallets, mostly so that you can have a very cyberpunk style integration with payment, and I like the idea that if you're on your phone or something too much at work, it polices that, it's oh no, there's interference, so you're not getting paid for you time. All right.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to turn this off.
Shitty idea. But at the same time, I don't disapprove of that. I do like the not clocking in and out, but instead just
Yes.
walking in and out of the building.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all, and that would be a useful aspect of that, because that's something like at the shop. I guess technically there is one RFID tag at the shop that you could buy if you had $50, and you could inject it in your own hand and then have a key hand, which is something that I've considered doing because fuck keys, fuck them. Mostly I'm bad at keeping track of small objects, but I have to keep them around my wrist, and it makes me feel like I'm wearing a belt. And I would much rather just have like a tag in my hand.
Fauci said that after COVID we won't be high-fiving anymore or something, or like
I'm gonna high five all the fucking time.
Exactly. He's like, we won't have handshakes, but it's not because of COVID. It's because of the chips that he's put in our hands. This is not. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is a joke.
Yeah, this is a joke.
It would be way cooler if he did put chips in there.
Yeah, yes.
The chips with the dip, I think, is what Drake said.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hold on. We're getting.
Imagine if somebody like really pulled a fast one on you by being like, "What's up? How's you?" And then you just hear like a beep, boop, boop.
Oh yeah, and they stole all your shit. Yeah.
Stole all your money.
You have to wear conductive fabric gloves. You're gonna have to wear stainless steel fabric gloves. You're gonna have to.
A smart contract that when somebody steals your money, you break their wrist.
It's just a gun shoots them. Like there's like a drone.
It's like those I forget what they're called, like the pets in any game that like float on your shoulder.
Yes.
And it just
Yes. No, and it just drops a bulb of sulfuric acid on your face. It's like there's a smart contract. I didn't have any. I didn't even set up the system. This is a service. You see,
we're not in the payment zone. We're not in the payment zone.
Yes. But the thing I remember the thing I was going to say, they're called like cyberdecks or whatever, but they're essentially personal computers, like very like rugged portable computers for like designed for the eventuality that you would need like heavy duty processing power on the go, in some sort of like they're like a cyberpunk nerd sort of thing, and I don't really know anything about them, but I guess technically I have some pretty powerful microcontrollers that I could use to make like a portable computer.
I was gonna say I like that idea for like littering too. Where they're like, I don't know, maybe a cup has a barcode or something, and when you buy a cup, it scans the barcode, and then that barcode is then attached to your hand, and if they find it on the street.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, it just like it lowers your social credit, and that is social credit. We're not libertarians
there is a version
anymore.
of this in existence, right? So like in Germany, you can get like, it's a financial version of that where you can be like, I think you have to pay for every bottle you buy at a store or something.
Yeah.
But then you get all the money back if you return them. But it's in like a little coin kiosk or something.
Oh, weird. Okay. That is. I'm sorry that I didn't hear that I wasn't listening before. But that is interesting. I wonder, like, because hear me out. Once we have the energy scarcity to just be so fucking greasy and gluttonous with our computing power, man, I am so down to be watched by artificial intelligence 100% of my time. I'm so down for it. I just want to develop it myself, so I know the systems aren't creepy. You know, because John, that would be pretty sick. I honestly would love to know how much someone litters. If I could look at, like, if there was like an app, so. Not only do you have like a government hash, like you have a social security number, but you have like one government device. It's like this big. It allows you to see your citizen stats, and you're like, you can see someone else.
Like a hardware passport or something.
Something like that. Oh, I advocated for. We're definitely not libertarians anymore.
No, we're libertarian because you can opt into different governments. Or no government. You could just be like, I just have my green card in all countries.
We're rich gold owners, and we're implementing the system en masse. That's what we're doing.
Buy bullion. Peter Schiff says it's going to go to the moon.
Buy bullion. No, but the thing I was going to say is that I would be totally down I would love if I could see how frequently does this person litter? How frequently do they vote? You know, just so you know, just so like some stats, like have they committed any crimes? You know, just to know. Like, not to be biased against, because I imagine you could use that to like ban people from getting jobs. Like, oh, you don't vote, you litter, and you've committed crimes.
But again, we already have a version of this that's just paper based.
They check a box and they don't hire you.
There's some bill in Texas that I think all the Dems in the Texas House or Senate marched out of the vote so that they couldn't say that they were in session. They were like, we're not here. We're not here.
Yeah. We left.
you can't vote on it because you don't have like this is not a session of Congress.
Yes, yes.
And it was some vote about ensuring the integrity of elections or something that was like by the Republican majority, I think. But yeah, it was like weird and creepy, like most voter ID laws kind of tend to be.
Oh yes, yes,
It's
yes.
like,
They
hey,
do end up.
like I was born here, I live here, I shouldn't really
Yeah.
have to show you much, if anything, to vote.
This is.
Like what? Yeah, I don't even just be like.
Yeah.
I don't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I guess I could get a government ID, but what if I don't have a computer? What if I don't have $30 to vote? Like, what if I don't have $30 to prove my citizenship? What if I don't have a voter ID card because it's made of paper?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and like ensuring integrity of elections is cool because the last election was like undeniably a massive change from all other elections. I think that at a certain point in democracy, you just go, I guess that's what the result is, and you move on. But like anybody who says it wasn't a little weird would be saying the complete opposite if the alternative outcome occurred. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they do. Like, this is so great.
Yeah. You're like, no, the primary was weird and sketchy. The main weird one was weird and sketchy. But I'm placated by the results. So
okay,
you're gonna put that to the side.
Do you think to a certain extent you could avoid? And this is oh man, I think I was going to say that we're really far from something, but I think we're so far from that we're just somewhere else now. You know what I'm saying? But do you think that there's maybe an argument for chipping people a little bit? Like, yo, this is just a passive RFID that contains your social security hash, so you can prove that you're you.
What if you? Well, yeah. What if you told all the people who were afraid of the COVID chips, like, hey, Mexicans can't get them, and you can use them to vote. You need one of these to vote.
I think this
is like the wisdom of King Solomon. It is.
The RNC should hire us.
They really should. They should really go techno future like libertarian, right? Because the future of the party right now, nobody knows what they're doing. Because it's still Trump's party.
What are they selling? What are they selling?
All of Trump's all of the primary voters are still like, no, for sure, it's Trump in 2024. Like that's what all the polling data has shown so far. According to Kyle Kalinske, who's like my main source on that. And I think some Jimmy Dore coverage of that as well. But they're like, yeah, no, for sure. If they don't like block him and or put him in prison, he will probably run in 2024, or at least his endorsement will secure the victor spot for whoever does run. Assuming they're not like if Mike Pence were to run, he'd probably lose.
Yes, yeah. Because Trumpers are not a fan of Pence.
Yeah. Yes. And I don't know if his sons could run, like Don Jr. could run, because I think that the Drain the Swamp people might go, that's blatant nepotism, because they at least have the standard of some of them being two-time Obama voters, and also not wanting like a Hillary Clinton or Michelle Obama presidency. But who knows? We'll see.
I mean,
it would be so funny if what's the chick's name? What's his daughter's name?
Ivanka.
I thought his wife was named Ivanka.
No, that's Melania.
And then I think Ivana is
another person.
Ivanka's mother. I think.
Wait, maybe.
I think so.
Okay. Oh, right, because Melania is just. Well, I'm not. Yeah. I was going to say Melania is just a side piece, but that's not true. Melania is just. They're only loosely coupled, let's say.
Yeah. But it would be funny if our first female president was Ivanka Trump.
That would be interesting. God. It probably wouldn't. Hear me out.
Because
probably a lot of jobs,
of all the factors that would help. Very hot.
I was going to say, I didn't know how to say it, but she is extremely. Which is I'm not saying she's extremely attractive. Let's look at this.
Yeah, would be in the top 0.001% of OnlyFans creators. But she has more money than that, anyways. I think.
Yes. But
what if
she could make so much more money.
What if Hunter Biden ran against? Because people were saying that he was like a dimey too, like he was like hot in the same way that the one dude from Stranger Things was, like the dude who just did pills.
Oh, the scraggly man. He was a little scraggly.
That's what they were saying about that guy. I think is that he looks like he should be like a cop in a sitcom, like a beat cop sitcom.
Yes. Okay, my stance on Ivanka Trump is that she is very attractive. Her nose is sort of small for my liking.
Well, she's working on that. She did marry Jewish.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I've come full circle.
Convert.
I've come full circle. I've come full circle. What was I going to say? Oh, but also, I mean, no, duh. Probably, like, our libertarian podcast, aren't all the Trumps good looking because they were rich? They have money. And having money means you get fed as a baby, and good infant nutrition means you turn well.
Barron Trump, by the time he's eligible to run, will be 60 feet tall.
And 5 tons.
He's gonna be like an Arnold Schwarzenegger election victory, but more like Andre the Giant.
Yes, yeah. There's so much room for a politician. Here's what the RNC should do. Pick up rhyming. They should. John, look at me. There's so much room for a politician that rhymes. I think that's undeniable.
There was one time that Ted Cruz read "one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish," as his to his kids who were watching his his filibuster at home. Mm-hmm. He read them like a bedtime story, which was Redfish. He should come out on that platform and do that.
Yes, because hear me out. I think that because you would get black teenagers in the rack, you get the black youth. If you start spitting bars, you'll get the black youth. I'm serious. If you start
to be fair,
DNC
2016 and DNC 2020 kind of did that. They kind of did that. Remember, I believe Katy Perry came out. I believe that they might have gotten MC Hammer out there for that. I believe that they got a couple other rappers. But the RNC setting it up. Trump freed Wheezy.
No, okay, so Trump freed Wheezy. If they can get Suicide Boys, right? Like, first they'll have to give Suicide Boys $2 billion. They'll have to give them $2 billion, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's step one. Maybe like
I'd like to a death with my face carved in Mount Rushmore would be nice. Is their next album?
Yeah, exactly. Like the cover. I really do like the album art of Zuckerberg. That would be such.
Oh my God, no! But they can't pick Suicide Boys because Tommy Cash is Russian and/or satellite state adjacent, and so they can't connect themselves back to that whole debacle.
Oh, heard. Okay, so maybe JPEG Mafia. Maybe they pay JPEG Mafia even more money to do it. Yeah. He'd be the Black Ben Carson, as he has said. Mm-hmm. You know, so but you got to pay JPEG Mafia $2 billion. You got to get. So I think you get the African American youth. Then you start rhyming, and then what was the other thing we said they were going to do? Technology. You got to get the nerds.
They got to run on bringing back menthols.
Oh my gosh! If you can get cigarette e-girls and incels who like both spaceships and guns, dude, that's like everybody. Isn't that the entire youth?
He already did Space Force. That's pretty good. I think Theo volunteered that black people and aliens have a beef. I don't know if that's true.
Oh shit! Okay. Let me think about this. Do I have a beef? I do. I guess I am. Considering my position on the family paradox and other animals, you might say that I have beef with aliens.
It's at least the second most likely reason that you would be abducted from your home, living in the South.
Oh yeah. It's like, yeah, these gray ass crackers. These gray ass. Wait, hold on. Let me do. Man, these gray ass crackers, man, with their black ass eyes, bro. They cruise into the saucer and they say, "Come here, boy." No, that's not even. I've lost it. Because the reason I lost it is because I started thinking about Meteor Man. Meteor Man is a movie starring Robert Townsend, who is also in Hollywood Shuffle. But
yeah, I guess, yeah, because like, what are aliens known to do? Stick things up your ass.
no, exactly, and so
I think
ass. I don't know. I'm not going to do this because he's gay. That would have been where to take it. Fuck.
Yeah.
listeners, and no, I don't mean any offense to anyone, but the proper joke here would have been to say in the Hollywood Shuffle, Tommy, why you got to pull a knife voice. These gay, these gray ass crackers with their black ass eyes and their gay ass probes. These dive saucer ass turkeys looking like a dinner plate.
Ain't
That's
got
what I
no
would have
pros.
said. Oh, they're gonna have to. Oh my gosh, they're gonna need to use the warp drive to accelerate their foot at light speed away from their ass away from my foot at light speed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? They're gonna have to.
That's pretty spontaneous, and that's your RNC speech.
That
it's way better because they almost got there. They had cocaine this year. Do you
dude, wait,
remember,
did they had they had cocaine this year?
There were like 3 speeches where people were. It was the speculation was that because people gave such high energy speeches to completely empty rooms that they were all just on cocaine. They were all.
That is reasonable. How many politicians are on drugs, right? Like Bernie Sanders probably not on the drug, except for the ones that keep him alive.
He's at least on like a heart, heart stabilizer of some kind.
Certainly,
like blood pressure medication, something like that.
Yeah, but like he probably doesn't like get
statin. I think.
Yeah,
right word.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're like a politician under 60, you probably get high, right? Probably.
Oh yeah, like you should be on something for a speech, like whether it be a Xanax just so that you can chill out and just say something, or like if you're running as like a what do you call it, like an MK Ultra Manchurian candidate, that you should that you can just take enough Ambien that you don't remember running for president.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny. You wait, and this because I was considering how long have we been going right now.
I think we're sitting at about 105.
Okay.
Oh, 102. I'm getting better at nailing it within 5 minutes.
We're becoming better podcasters, but this is a good place to end the show. Do you think that Joe Biden is in that state we just described right now?
I don't.
What's
know.
Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible that he's been drugged?
There was that one video of him telling a girl in the audience that he liked the ribbons in her hair, and that with her legs crossed, she almost looked like a lady or something. He's like, "You look like a grown woman, you do."
No, well, you see, the last time.
So he's at least a little bleary-eyed. He might be blackout. It might be glaucoma.
Well, the last time he was conscious, he was a boy. That's why he thinks that's okay to say. He's like, "You look old," That's what.
There was this one time in second grade that I told a redhead that I really liked the cornrow she had in her hair, and that's where he is right now. He's back in second grade. It's like the scene from Ratatouille where Anton Ego he's back in his boyhood. He's riding a bike. He skinned his knee. His mama made him some ratatouille in the French countryside while smoking a cigarette, and then said, "Leave the house. My boyfriend's coming over." My boyfriend.
Oh man!
It's like that scene in Ratatouille was shot out of order, like Reservoir Dogs was, and so like he skins his knee afterwards when he asks his mom if
he's left the house for the boyfriend.
Yeah.
But do you have anything you would like to plug?
Nah, because I ain't about that shit.
Fair.
Those aliens better get the fuck out of here.
Oh, hey, man. If you're one of those here's some shit you can do for me. Yeah, it's awesome, bro. Take those probes, man, and use it to probe the subscribe button, bro. Use it to hit that like button, man, with your shiny ass eyes.
Phone home. How?
Anyway,
no comment.
Watch Hollywood Shuffle. If you understand what's happening, watch Hollywood Shuffle.
I don't understand what's happening, but I'm without words. This is bad.
This has been